Your featured comedian. He's incredible. You can hear him on The Big Show on 105.7. Everybody make a lot of noise right now for Ramie.
Thank you for Liz Zyder, everybody. Give it up for Liz Zyder one more time. Oh, you guys, you feel like a good crowd. I'm in a good mood. This is my favorite time of year. I love fall. I love the fall. Playoff baseball is going on right now. I'm a huge baseball fan. We got baseball fans in the house. Any baseball fans? Okay. A few of you, a smattering of applause, if you will. Not as many as maybe you would have gotten 20 years ago when baseball was America's pastime, but that's fine. I don't try to convince people to like what I like, unlike soccer fans. We got any soccer fans in the house? I fucking hate you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I might like soccer if not for you. Soccer fans are the most annoying people in the sports world. They love to tell you how great what they're doing is and how much greater it makes their life and how it makes them feel. It's like the gluten-free people of the sports world, is what I'm telling you. They'll make three main arguments to make you like their sport. One argument that they'll make to me is soccer fans are the most passionate fans in all of the sports world. And that's true, they are passionate, because every time I turn on a soccer match, they're hurling racial epithets at the players, tossing road flares into the opposing team's cheering section, and starting riots on the reg. On the reg, you guys. I'm sorry, when I go to a game, my idea of a good time is a nice sunny day, green grass, cold beer, maybe a sausage of some sort. Wasn't looking to attend a Mad Max reenactment. That's not my idea of a good time, I'm sorry. The other argument that they'll make to me is, they'll say, Ramie, you're Middle Eastern. That's the sport of your people. Your people love that sport. You should love that sport. You know what else my people love? Hating your people. Should I give that a try? I could give that a try. Because you're making it easy. You're making it real easy. And the third argument that they'll make to me to try and make me like soccer is that it's the most popular sport in the world. Only Americans don't get it. You're a stupid American because it's the most popular sport everywhere else but America. And that's true, but One Direction was once the most popular band in the world, and we all know they suck ass, right? We can agree on that. And do you know what the most popular food in the world is? Anybody have any idea? Want to take a guess as to what the most popular food in the world is? No, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. It's rice. Rice is the most eaten food in the entire world. Now remember the last time you looked forward to sitting down to a nice, big, steaming bowl of plain white rice? No, you don't, because it never fucking happened, okay? Rice is the most popular in the food in the world because it doesn't take a lot of skills or resources to cultivate it. You basically need a field of grass and about 20 dudes, so it's available to a lot of people all around the world. But it's also bland and boring. You know what I just described? Fucking soccer, that's what I just described. Yeah! Another thing I love about this time of year is Halloween. We're about a week out from Halloween. You guys excited for that? You ready? Yeah? It might be my favorite holiday for the same reason it's probably most guys' favorite holiday, and that's the slutty Halloween costumes, ladies. You keep that up, all right? Keep it up. I love them all. The slutty Catwoman, slutty cop, slutty nurse. My favorite, though, is doctor. Not even slutty doctor, just regular doctor. And the fantasy there is financial security, ladies. That's what I'm looking for. Like, if you could pay off my student loans, that'd be the sexiest shit you could do, for real. For real. But just know that when you wear those costumes, you open yourselves up to immature, sexist jokes that are definitely happening behind your back. They are happening, whether you know it or not. I was in a bar with some friends last Halloween. A group of young ladies came in dressed as piñatas. And one of my friends that I was with, he said, he was like, I'd hit that. It's just funny, it's clever, it's cute, right? I might have gone too far though, because I was like, yeah, bust that shit wide open, dog, eat all that candy. Might have gone too far. I don't know. No, I didn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm more respectful to women than that. I don't catcall. I draw the line. I draw the line somewhere, but I will look. I will look, ladies. I'm gonna look. Like, that's another reason why I'm glad that summer's over and moving into fall, because I can get in trouble during the summer. Women get offended when they dress the way that they dress in the summertime, and I'm looking, but let's be real, when you left that house, you were partly looking for the attention of a man dressed that way. Maybe not this man, maybe not this one right here, okay? But you're looking for the attention of a man, and that's not fair. That's not fair. I'll explain to you why it's not fair using a war analogy. Yes, a war analogy, okay? If your titties are your weapon of choice to attract the attention of a man, just know that those are not smart bombs, okay? They're not designed to pinpoint and strike high-value targets, okay? No. Those are weapons of mass erection. They hit everybody. You're just gonna have to weed through the bodies, check for DNA, and see if you got your man. That's how it works, I'm sorry. And yes, that was a jerking off motion, it was, yes. I know I might have come off misogynistic, sexist in the first few minutes of my set here, but I would say that women are just as bad as men, if not worse. And I can prove it with 2 words. 2 words can prove it.
Do it.
Magic Mike. See what happened when I said Magic Mike? And a lot more women wanted to do that. She was the only one. You know what? Good for you. Good for you. You owned it. Because many, many women in this room wanted to woo when I said Magic Mike. Now, Magic Mike, if you don't know, was the 2-hour saga about Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum gyrating in thongs for 2 hours. That's what it was. That's what it was. And it was #1 in the box office for 4 weeks. Then they made a sequel. Okay? And I can tell you why it was so successful. Because I was in a movie theater the weekend that Magic Mike opened. I was seeing something else. Fuck you, okay? But I was there, and I was in the lobby. I was about to get some popcorn. There was a group of ladies about 20 feet away acting quite rambunctious, right? And I looked over there, and they were wearing like penis hats. They had penis earrings. They were sucking on penis pops. They had penis necklaces, which is terrifying imagery if you've ever seen Apocalypse Now. A few of you got that. I'm glad. Classic film is important. So I had to find out what was going on. I had to find out what was going on. I walked up to one of the ladies in this rambunctious group and I said, "Man, what is going on here? Did you go to the movies for a bachelorette party? That seems kind of weird." And she was like, "No, we're here to see Magic Mike. Woo!" And they all started wooing. One of them took her titties out right there in the lobby. It was awesome, guys. It was awesome. It was great. But now compare that to the movie Showgirls. You remember the movie Showgirls? About female strippers with Jessie from Saved by the Bell. Remember that? That was in the movie theater for 2 days. 2 days. Do you know why? I know why. Because there weren't movie theaters full of dudes with vagina hats and sucking on vagina pops. Vagina earrings, vagina necklaces, taking their balls out, movie theater lobbies. No. We went to Blockbuster, because that's what you did back then. We rented it. And we took it home to the privacy of our own home, where we masturbated by ourselves, okay? Because we have class, ladies. I have a girlfriend, despite the way I talk and look, you guys. It's true. It happened. She's way too attractive for me. I don't know how well. I do know kind of how it happened. We met on Twitter. Liz mentioned when she brought me up. I host a sports talk radio show by day. She listened to the show. Thank you, sir. So we started exchanging tweets, and she slid into my DMs, y'all, and then we had our first day right here at Comedy Cafe 6 months ago today. 6 months ago today, we had our first day right here. Thank you. I'm verified on Twitter. I'm sort of a big deal. I think that's what attracted her. She was drawn in by my thick, veiny blue check mark, you guys. Oh. No, but she likes sports. I like sports, so it works out nicely. Like, some of the kids are Netflix and chilling nowadays. We NFL Sunday ticket and chill. It's nice. It's good. I know I'm Aaron Rodgers in her head later that night, but she's Olivia Munn in mine. So everybody's happy. It's working out. It's working out for everyone. She's actually the second straight girl that I met and dated on Twitter. I told my roommate that, and he was like, "Dude, you gotta show me how to use Twitter." And I was like, "Yeah, those are the only 2 girls I've talked to in the last 3 years. Maybe you should show me how to talk to people in real life. That seems like a more useful life skill. I don't know. But I swept her off her feet right there on that first date here at the Comedy Cafe 6 months ago. You know how I did that? Want to know how you sweep a woman off her feet? And the first date, I walked her back to her car in the parking garage at the end of the date. Ladies, are guys, she was like blown away by that. Are guys not walking you back to your car at the end of a first date in a parking garage of all places? I want to thank every man in here for setting the bar so low that I could just... Thank you, I appreciate that. You guys suck. Like, that's the most basic thing that a man should do at the end of a first date. Like, 9 out of 10 bad things that are happening to women in TV and movies is happening in a parking garage, okay? But I did the research. I found out how many women are getting walked back to their cars at the end of the first date. And turns out 6 out of 10 guys will walk you back to your car at the end of a first date, lady. They will. They will. 3 of those 10 are going to do what I did, which is just give you a peck on the cheek, tell you I had a great time and I'd love to see you again. The other 3 are going to try and sexually assault you. That's happening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're terrible. I think I'm going to try and keep her around, though. I think she's a keeper. I think I'm going to do my best to keep her around. And I realized it in one particular moment. I realized she was a keeper. It was like our 5th, 6th date. And we went to Dave & Buster's. I love Dave & Buster's, you guys. We smoked some weed on the way there. We had some drinks. We ate some grilled cheesy bread. We played some video games. Went back to my house afterwards. And then she proceeded to give me not only the best blowjob that I've ever had, the best blowjob that any man in this room has ever had, okay? And if any ladies think they can do better, I'm up to the challenge, okay? Just talk to me. Is that cool, baby? Is that cool? No? Okay, not cool. Don't line up to suck my dick later. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what made it the greatest blowjob that I've ever had, and probably any man in this room has ever had. It was this. Right before I finished, she looked up at me. She looked up at me. With her big baby blue eyes and her picture-perfect smile, you guys. And she said the most romantic thing that I've ever heard a woman say to me. She whispered it. She said, after this, let's go smoke some weed and eat the rest of that cheesy bread. I came so hard I thought I blew off the back of her head like JFK, you guys. It went back and to the left, back and to the left. There was so much cum, I could have sworn there was a second shooter on the grassy knoll. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's terrible. Another recent thing in my life, I bought a house just about a year ago. I'm a first-time homeowner. I moved to Bayview. I did it. I mean, that's like the most adult thing I've ever did. I bought a house. It's a 3-bedroom house, so I went and got me a roommate. Good friend of mine. We're like brothers. I love each other. We get along great. But I mentioned earlier, I'm an Arab fellow, Palestinian to be exact. He happens to be a Jewish fellow, okay? Okay, now I love him. I trust him, but I'd be lying that if I didn't say that there's some Arab paranoia flowing through these veins, you guys. There is. And I'm just afraid that, like, the longer he lives there, right now we have, like, our own space. We share common areas like the bathroom, the kitchen, etc. But the longer he lives there, he'll just keep on claiming small parts of the house as his own. Until eventually he just owns the whole fucking place. And then I need to give him papers to go take a shit, and that's no way to live. That's not any way to live for a man. I lived with my parents until I bought that house. I see you looking up here trying to figure out how old I am and how sad this is. I'm 36, that's how old I am and how sad this is, okay? Sorry, that's just what happened. Sorry. Did you say, oh, Ramie? Did I hear no Ramie over there? I'm sorry. No, but I had to get out of there. They were driving me nuts. They were driving me crazy. Like, they came from the Middle East, and I think they packed all the crazy in a suitcase and brought it over here with them when they came, because everything is a fight in that house. I see why that part of the world is in the state that it's in, because everything is a fight with those people. And yeah, I said those people, they're my people, I'm allowed to say it, all right? None of you are allowed to. I'm allowed to say that. Like something as simple as throwing food away is a fight in my parents' house. It's crazy. Like my mom, she wants to freeze everything before it goes bad. Like everything. Like if you want to have some chips in the Macloff house while you watch the game on a Sunday afternoon, plan ahead and thaw them bitches out Saturday night, okay? My dad, on the other hand, he loves throwing food away. My dad takes such great joy in throwing food away. This is a regular occurrence in the house. My dad's standing in front of the fridge, like, this has been in the fridge for 3 weeks. Is anybody going to eat this? No? Ha! I threw it away! That was a 25-cent cheesesteak, dude. You throw away 3 of those if it makes you that happy. I don't want to rob you of that joy. My dad, he's his own special kind of crazy. He had a quadruple bypass about 12 years ago, but it's cool because since then, he's been on a steady diet of breads, meats, cheeses, whiskey, and cigarettes, guys, so it's fine. It's fine. Like some people are counting carbs. This guy had toast with his pancakes. So we went out to breakfast a while ago. I told that joke in front of him once. He was like, "Come on, you exaggerate. I had toast with my ham and eggs, and then I had pancakes." I was like, "Sorry, dude, my bad. Total misrepresentation. You're the picture of health. You are a picture of health, sir." He actually did get a clean bill of health recently, though. Blood pressure, cholesterol, everything checked out normal, and I was amazed. I was looking at him like, this dude is a fucking medical marvel. Like, he should be researched by journals to see how this is even possible. Until my father said to me, "Good thing I doubled my cholesterol medication a week before the test." Yeah, I was living with a dude who crammed for a cholesterol test, folks. That happened. That happened. We're Arab, but we're Catholic. That confuses some people. I think they just assume all Arabs are Muslims. But we're Palestinian. If you think about it for just 1 second, it makes perfect sense because Jesus is fucking from there, you guys. He's from there. My grandpa was born in the same manger. That happened, all right? It happened. But being that mix of Arab and Catholic, it's a nice mix because it comes with all that guilt and repression that goes with being Arab, and all that guilt and repression that goes with being Catholic. You know what I mean? It's a nice cocktail. It's a really nice cocktail that we got going. So we don't talk about feelings or anything of the sort in the Makloff house ever. That never happens. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time, or if ever, my father said to me the 3 words, "I love you." And the room always gets real quiet when I say that. I think that makes people sad. Don't all, because it doesn't make me sad. And I'll tell you why, because I believe that actions speak far louder than words. And let me tell you what my dad did for me. My dad in his early 20s left a war-torn country, went across the globe with barely $1 in his pocket, hardly knowing the language or anyone in this strange land. He got a college education, started a career, brought my mom over here, started a family, and started this whole journey years before me or my brother were ever even born, but with us in mind to give us a better life than he had. Then he worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to put food in our mouths, clothes on our back, and a roof over our heads. And then he let me live with him until I was 36 fucking years old. So not only can I say that I know my father loves me, I can confidently say my father loves me way more than any of your fucking dads love you, okay? They can remind you all they want. It's not true. Being Arab and having the choice of hair and beard that I do, I know I look like 6 of the FBI's top 10 most wanted terrorists at any given time. Like, I somehow look like both of the Boston bombers. They don't even look alike, but you catch me at this angle, I look like one. You catch me at this angle, I look like the other. It doesn't even make sense. Funny to you, I didn't leave the house for a fucking week when those pictures came out, okay? So this can cause some problems for me from time to time, specifically when I go to the airport. It can be troublesome. It can. Like, I was picking up some family from the airport a while back, and they had a lot of people and a lot of luggage, so we brought 3 cars. I guess they figured they weren't just suspicious enough being Arabs at the airport. They wanted to travel with a lot of people and a lot of luggage, you know what I mean? So 3 cars, like I said. First car, I'm driving. Second car, my cousin's driving. She shares my swarthy complexion and terroristy face. Third car, white friend driving. I have a white friend that proves I'm not racist, all right? I love you all. I love you all. So we're coming up the on-ramp to where you would pick people up at the airport, and there's an officer standing in the middle of the road, police officer standing in the middle of the road, waving me down. So I stop my car, and naturally I roll down my window. I say, "How can I help you, officer?" He says, "We're just doing random trunk checks. If you just pop your trunk, I'll take a quick peek and you'll be on your way. I keep my weed in the glove compartment, so no problem, right?" So I pop my trunk, he takes a quick peek, he waves me through. I look in the rearview mirror, my cousin pops her trunk, waves her through. Third car, white friend driving, no trunk check, waves him on through. And the most fucked up part about that is, because he's a white dude, he does stupid white dude shit when he gets drunk. He had a trunk full of stop signs and construction signs and shit. I guess that's something that y'all just do because you can get away with it. I don't know, they're high-fiving, they've done it. That's a fucking felony. Like, if he just looked in that trunk, it's a felony, okay? So for a second, I was like, well, that was racist. That was racism. I was just a victim of racism, and I was angry, I was mad, I was sad, all at the same time. But then the more I thought about it, it wasn't racism as much as it was racial profiling. And like, I hate racism. I think it's a very ugly thing. I don't think anybody should be racist. But racial profiling, it can be useful, guys. It can be useful. That's all I'm saying. It can be useful. It wasn't 21 Irish dudes on those planes on September 11th going, "Yo, in the name of Allah." No. There's a lot of dudes that look like my uncle, okay? Like, if I don't get a little extra attention when I go through the TSA's line, you know what I mean? Like at least one of these from a security guard, like somebody dropped the ball. Somebody didn't do their fucking job, okay? Let's face it, certain people are suspicious in certain situations. I'll start with myself. Arabs in airports, right? We can all agree on that, right? Black dudes in white neighborhoods. White dudes in black neighborhoods, right? Mexicans in general. I don't know. Any Mexicans here who may be offended by that or may or may not have a suicide bomber vest under here, so Shane, get your own risk, I say, all right? Okay? I want to tell you guys a quick story, then I'm going to get out of here. We have any Tracy Morgan fans in the house? You guys like Tracy Morgan from messing up? I had the pleasure of meeting Tracy Morgan. I'm so glad he's back on the comeback path after his accident. I met him right before that accident, had a one-on-one experience with Tracy Morgan. I went to see him at the Pabst Theater, and as I mentioned, I host a sports talk radio show. I happen to do it with two former Packers. Nobody gives a fuck who I am, wherever I go, but these two guys, like, if you ever get the chance to hang out with former Packers in the state of Wisconsin, fucking do it, okay? Doors open for you. So we got to go backstage afterwards, and Tracy must have heard that I hosted a radio show, because my friend went up to him and he was like, "Hey Tracy, my friend Ramie here does stand-up comedy. You got any advice for him?" Tracy got real excited. He jumped up out of his chair. He was like, "You do comedy?" I was like, "Yeah." I was scared. I was like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Morgan, sir." He was like, "You better quit radio." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Can't do both. Comedy or radio, radio and comedy. Can't do both." And like, I've been working half my life to get on the radio, but I also want to make it in the stand-up game. So now Tracy Morgan's got me doubting all my life choices, you guys. Right? But then something even crazier happened. Tracy Morgan, he grabbed me by the sleeve of my shirt, and he took me out onto the stage at an empty Pabst Theater. It's just me and Tracy Morgan at an empty Pabst Theater. And he goes, "Look at this! You could have this. You could have all of this. Fuck, you could have more. Kevin Hart is selling out arenas. But you gotta commit." And then Tracy Morgan, we went backstage, we sat down, we talked for like a half hour. He gave me 3 pieces of advice that I would give to any stand-up comedian that I ever meet, and I'll give them to you guys here tonight. 1, he said to build your brand. He said your marketing is as important as your material. 2, he said be true to yourself and make the world conform to you, because even if you get where you're trying to be, being who other people want you to be, you won't be happy when you get there. That's some deep shit from Tracy Morgan, you guys. 3rd thing he said was that comedy comes from struggle. That took me full circle back to the first thing Tracy Morgan said when I first met him, because that's when I realized Tracy Morgan thinks there is money in radio. I'm here to tell you there is not, okay? I'm living paycheck to paycheck, just moved out of my parents' house, wasn't getting laid till 3 months ago. The struggle is real, you guys, okay? And if comedy comes from struggle, I might be the next Tracy Morgan, but till then, I'm keeping my fucking day job. I'm Ramie Maclaw. Thank you so much for your time.